Hi there, this is a homily for the 25th Sunday of the year in Ordinary Time. And as you know, I've said this many times before, during Ordinary Time we learn a lot of the different aspects of the life of faith. And today we are hearing all about the time that we have. And Isaiah, the little piece of Isaiah 55, is just a warning straight on these terms. Seek the Lord while he may be found. We're all given time, a certain amount of time, and basically it's time to realize that we are created for God, and part of our life should be worship. The rest of our life should be bringing order to our own hearts and to the world around us. So seek the Lord while he may be found, call him while he is near. In other words, there is a certain urgency because he may not be found in our particular lives, particularly after we die. And so let's make our time here on earth as a productive in the sense of being productive in faith as we can possibly make it, because at least part of our advancement in the spiritual life is based on our own effort and our own decisions. Let the scoundrel forsake his way and the wicked his thoughts. Let him turn to the Lord for mercy. So not only is the Lord going to hear us, but he's also going to grant us mercy. He is generous in forgiving. And with that set up, that's the way we are located in the world. And again, that's not up to us. God has created us this way. Isaiah, God comes through with a reminder, my thoughts are not your thoughts. So whatever you think religion is, it isn't. And my ways, nor are your ways my ways. Whatever you think worship is, it isn't. And the Lord basically is saying, look, let me tell you what life is all about. Let me tell you what worship is. Let me tell you the role that worship plays in your life. Then in the psalm, this idea of nearness, in other words, our interaction with God in time, is celebrated in a beautiful way. The Lord is near to all who call upon him. Every day I will bless you, and I will praise your name. Great is the Lord, and highly to be praised. His greatness is unsearchable. And in fact, there you've got in the last line the picking up of this difference in the way that God operates from the way we operate. And we're only going to learn how to build this relationship to God from God, most usually through his church. The Lord is gracious and merciful, and we've celebrated all that in Isaiah already. Another point that comes in the third verse, the Lord is just in all his ways. In other words, whatever we think fairness is, we have to go to God and find out what fairness really is, because he works with justice all the time. There is an ordering to the way God works that we can only imagine. And so whatever God places before us, he is being just in a sense that we will only understand usually after the event. Then the second reading, we have Paul's letter to the Philippians, and we have Paul saying, Christ will be magnified in my body, whether by life or by death. And that's a reminder that a lot of things do hang on life and death. We are not simply in a neutral world, and then when we choose to pay attention to God, God pays is available. What we're saying here is that my whole bodily existence is here for the Lord, because we've been told many times we are not our own, and that is a lesson that takes sometimes years to learn. We are not our own, but he will be magnified in my body, whether by life, in other words, all the daily ways in which I live my life, or by death, because my death may be highly meaningful to some people at some time, just as Christ's death is meaningful to the entire history of mankind. For to me, life is Christ and death is gain. So in other words, my life is not tied to my success or my views on what I want. It is tied to Christ and wherever he is leading me. And the my ways, your ways argument that we heard in Isaiah is coming to the fore here. If I go on living in the flesh, that means fruitful labor for me, and I do not know which I shall choose. In other words, death or life. Because to be with Christ would be the greatest thing, but to be with you, showing you Christ, is what he is called to do at this particular point. And we are called to do at this particular point. And the rest is in the hands of God. Lastly, then, we have this gospel, which is a parable of the landowner, and you know it very well. The laborers are called in at different points during the day as the landowner finds them standing around in the marketplace. And basically then he pays them at the end of the day. The ones who've been in the vineyard the whole day are expecting a much higher pay than what the workers who only work for an hour or two get. And yet the landowner says, look, it's my money. And this is basically, again, telling us God is God, and God gives us salvation. And if we've had to struggle, we still get this actually incredible reward. And if other people have only come lately into the vineyard, therefore lately into God's favor, they get the same as I do. They get salvation as well. And again, my ways, your ways, that argument from Isaiah is coming through again. So we're learning about how to live in time and to use our time in a Christian way, not to make it, 1 hour on Sunday and the rest I can be praying on my neighbors. This is more Christ is going to teach me, provided I'm paying attention, because most people don't. But if I am paying attention, then I'll be getting cues in my life, and it'll be everywhere. It'll be prayers. It will be some item in the news. It will be seeing somebody else doing something. It will be mass. It will be all kinds of things. But the point is, Christ is reaching out to me and doing it almost desperately, because he wants us to give us salvation. And that really places us in the challenge of living life consciously. Thank you.